Critic is an important reminder that even in the 1930s, everyone was corrupt, drunk, and horny. Why is it just a general expectation, a societal norm for everyone to be cheating on their wives in this? What?
How on earth do you live with yourself? Please. This is only the beginning.
Seeing Ian McKellen play an absolute monster does make me feel like one of the last pure, beautiful things in this world has died, but he's so good at it. The Critic is about a theatre critic who, at about 90 years old, is so desperate to keep his job that he is willing to murder for it. It doesn't sound that interesting when you put it that way, but here's the thing. It's not. So Sir Ian McKellen stars as the Balrog instead of the Gandalf in this situation, and he's a theatre critic who's very well respected, much like Ian McKellen himself, and is a drunk, hates everyone, and has sex with a lot of random men. Probably slightly less like Ian McKellen himself. So Jimmy Erskine, who sounds more like he should be in Peaky Blinders than finding work as a theatre critic, is afraid because Mark Strong has just taken over his newspaper and he thinks he's going to fire him because he's going through all the old guard. Imagine that. Ageism against a bunch of drunks who don't work very hard. It is interesting to have a film that does properly follow the villain, and is very open about the fact that he's the villain. It's not trying to hide anything, there's no big mysteries that are unraveled or that I'm spoiling for you. He's just an asshole at the beginning and gets to be more of an asshole by the end, and that's the story. Basically, he's pulling strings, being a creepy little puppet master, blackmailing an actress to sleep with the owner of his newspaper when she's already actually sleeping with the son-in-law of the owner of the newspaper. It's like Game of Thrones out here. All of these guys are married as well, and there's no... Even Mark Strong, who is played off as the one, good guy character in this, is still willing to cheat on his wife. I don't know whether it's trying to make the point that everyone's dirty and everyone sucks, but it makes everyone unlikable. Yeah. I don't really like any of the characters. Even Gemma Arterton, who is a very fun character throughout, I don't really like her. She just sleeps with a bunch of married men and is willing to do basically whatever it takes to become more relevant as an actress. Even when she's already doing well, it's just this one critic hates her. And she's doing literally anything to gain his approval. So I don't like her much as a character even, and she's meant to be the one you're rooting for the most, I guess? I'm telling you, this is the reason that film critics shouldn't have too much power. Be nice to have a little power, but no, anyway. So this is a film that wants to play itself off as a kind of mostly drama, thriller aspects in there. I feel like thriller is becoming the most generic, thrown around sort of term. There are kind of more exciting moments and elements to this. I guess it's fair enough to call it a thriller, but I feel like every film, one way or the other, action films now, oh yeah, this is a thriller, and drama films, absolutely loads of them are also thrillers, exciting moments, and then horror films are all thrillers as well now. It's really weird. I don't know when this happened, but it seems like thriller has just taken over as this kind of, throw that into the genre terms list. I do think the plot sounds like it's got to be the backdrop to a murder mystery, or to some sort of over-the-top screwball comedy. It's not. It is just as simple as it sounds, and I feel like that just makes it a vehicle for really good performances. And don't get me wrong, Ian McKellen, Gemma Arterton especially, excellent. Everyone else around them, they've got a great cast here. Alfred Enoch, Ben Barnes, Mark Strong, of course. It's a great cast. They're all doing very good performances. I just feel like the plot needed, an extra step or two. It needed an extra something at the forefront. It's fun enough. I don't think it's a bad film by any means, but I think it's a shame because I've seen Ian McKellen do quite a few of these that just feel like they're just missing that extra bit of meat to the plot that really makes it work. I think ironically, since McKellen's character does complain about theatre plays being too long in this, that it's just it's a bit long. It's a bit of a slog at times, and that's unfortunate because I really do like the character in this world. It's dark, it's intriguing, but I don't know. I feel especially the plot just kind of veers off a little near the end. It just goes a little, I don't know. I feel like either this could have stayed a drama and been a lot less whoa near the end, or it could have been an actual thriller and gone the full ham and added a few more whoas in. It doesn't do either of those things, so it is kind of one foot on the train. Can't really decide what it wants to be, it feels like. I think it does seem like a play, and one that wasn't that interesting to begin with, but has been elevated to pretty good by the performances of the cast. It's a shame it feels like a bit of a damp squib for a plot that actually sounds really interesting on paper. It doesn't come to life in the way that I was quite hoping or expecting, but you do get to see an awful lot of Ian McKellen playing with a boat in a bath. So if that's your thing, go for it. I'm giving Critic for the Critic 2.5 stars. It's an interesting story. It's got some very good performances. It's lacking a little something in the plot for me to make it worthwhile actually recommending.